What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, we got some unfortunate news, some bad news. As undefeated two-division world champion, reigning WBC middleweight world champion, superstar boxer, Jermall Only Charlo, has now stated that a unification massive showdown between himself and undefeated two-division world champion, reigning WBO middleweight world champion, superstar boxer Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade will never take place, as well as the possibility of a mega showdown with two-time undefeated WBC super middleweight world champion Mexican superstar boxer David Benavidez. With that said, a fight between Jermall Charlo and Demetrius Andrade is never going to happen. According to well-renowned trainer, future Hall of Fame trainer, or Hall of Fame trainer, and longtime trainer Jermall Charlo, Ronnie Shields, he states that Jermall Charlo has let it be known that he has no interest in ever fighting Demetrius Andrade. Although, in his post-fight press conference after he faced Montiel and got a victory, when he was asked about a fight with Demetrius Andrade, Jermall Charlo, he stated that, yeah, let's go after Demetrius Andrade. That's a unification bout, and he always running his mouth. Let's make that fight happen. But now he's saying that he'll never face Demetrius Andrade. Demetrius Andrade is undefeated. He's a WBO champion. It's a unification bout. So this means Jermall Charlo essentially is stating that he never wants to become undisputed at middleweight, because he can't become undisputed at middleweight if he don't go through Demetrius Andrade, because Demetrius Andrade holds a belt. So unless Demetrius Andrade loses somewhere along the line and Jermall Charlo can fight his opponent, well then Jermall Charlo essentially is letting it be known he has no interest in fighting Demetrius Andrade and no interest in becoming undisputed. Jermall Charlo, 32 wins, no losses, no draws, 22 wins by way of knockout. He's 31 years of age, stands 6 feet tall with a 74-inch arm reach. Last time we saw him in the ring was when he took on Juan Montiel. That was June of this year. He got a unanimous decision victory. With that said, this is unfortunate news, because we know what took place between Demetrius Andrade and Jermall Charlo's identical twin brother, who's a two-time junior middleweight world champion and a unified junior middleweight world champion superstar boxer, Jermall Only Charlo, or Jermall Ironman Charlo. Okay, 5 years ago, they were scheduled to face off. They had an agreement, got all the way to fight week, and because Demetrius Andrade decided to switch promoters from his longtime promoter to rap mogul, entertainer, superstar in Jay-Z, and according to Ronnie Shields, that Jay-Z told him, I don't like this fight for you. It was reported that Jay-Z felt that he can get more money out of a fight with Jermall Charlo, and they were essentially trying to hold off as long as possible to get more money than the scheduled $300,000 he was scheduled to make. A fight between Demetrius Andrade and Jermall Charlo should have gotten Demetrius Andrade far more than $300,000. Okay? With that said, Demetrius Andrade, 30 wins, no losses, no draws, 18 wins by way of knockout, 33 years of age, stands at 6 foot tall with a 74-inch arm reach himself. Last time we saw him in the ring was April of this year when he defeated Liam Williams via unanimous decision. It was a hard-fought fight. So, the week of the fight, Demetrius Andrade, he decided to pull out of a fight with Jermall Charlo, which was horrible to say the least. And I agree with Jermall, and I agree with Jermall if Jermall never wants to do business with him again. But if you're Jermall and you have this opportunity for a massive payday, a legacy fight, and a unification bout, then this is a fight that you have to take. Why don't you avenge it in the ring? Okay? With that said, you have to look at it from the standpoint, you're not going to get the fight with two-time middleweight world champion, superstar boxer Gennady Triple G Golovkin, as he's on the verge of an agreement of a showdown between WBA middleweight reigning champion Murata in December. So that's a long ways off. The last time Triple G fought was December, and Triple G, Gennady Golovkin, he's made it abundantly clear he has no interest in fighting Jermall Charlo. Gennady Golovkin, 41 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. That loss coming at the hands of 4-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer, who's the unified super middleweight world champion currently in Canelo Alvarez. The loss and the draw. 36 wins by way of knockout. He's 39 years of age, stands at 5'10.5" with a 70-inch arm reach. And the last time we saw him in the ring was December of 2020 when he defeated Kamel Zermeda via a stoppage victory. So he hasn't fought since December, and now he's not planning to fight until December of this year, okay, against Murata. So he has no interest in facing off against Jermall Charlo, as he let it be known. He only wants to fight Murata, and he wants to fight a trilogy with Canelo Alvarez. So with that said, then why not move up? Because, see, they also stated, that being Ronnie Shields and Jermall Charlo, that they have a fight lined up between themselves and Canelo Alvarez in the future. Now, we know it's being reported that Canelo Alvarez is on the verge of getting the biggest payday of his career against undefeated IBF super middleweight world champion superstar boxer Caleb Sweethand Plant in September for Undisputed. Now, the fight is going to take place on PBC Pay-Per-View Fox. So, it's also being speculated that he could possibly have another fight lined up. And Ronnie Shields, he stated that they have a deal in place to fight Canelo Alvarez somewhere down the line. So, therefore, they didn't need to fight David Benavidez. And they're never going to fight Demetrius Andrade. But if you plan on fighting Canelo Alvarez and you're moving up in weight to fight Canelo Alvarez, then why don't you just go ahead and move up in weight now and fight the best fights possible? Why stay at middleweight? What's there to gain? You're not going to unify the belts. You're going to stay inactive in hopes of waiting around for Canelo Alvarez to give you an opportunity, because Canelo Alvarez says after Caleb Plant, should he be victorious, he wants to fight with Jermall Charlo. But Canelo Alvarez, he also stated that he wants to fight with David Benavidez. But Canelo Alvarez also stated that a possibility he can move back up to light heavyweight and challenge the unified WBC IBF light heavyweight world champion superstar boxer Artur Beterbiev, or he could face the WBA light heavyweight world champion superstar boxer Dimitri Bivol. So there's no guarantee that Canelo Alvarez is going to give Jermall Charlo the opportunity to face off against him. So let's just say Canelo Alvarez beats Caleb Plant. He's satisfied at super middleweight. Jermall Charlo's on record saying he's not fighting David Benavidez because he's not a super middleweight. He's a middleweight. He's a natural middleweight. And he's not moving up. So therefore, if you're a natural middleweight and you're not moving up, and he's also on record saying he's not moving up for Canelo Alvarez either. But that conflicts with what Ronnie Shields is saying, that they would have moved up for Canelo Alvarez. But let's just say Canelo Alvarez, he says, I accomplished everything I need to accomplish at super middleweight. I became the first undisputed 4 major sanctioned belt holder at super middleweight. And on top of it, I'm the first Mexican-born fighter to hold all 4 major sanctioned bodies. History made 2 times over. What does Canelo Alvarez have to prove facing off against Jermall Charlo coming up in weight? Right? Or David Benavidez for that matter. Canelo Alvarez could then say, well, I want to go up now to 1 weight division up, where I already won a title, the WBO title, when I beat Sergey Crusher Kovalev and became a 4-division world champion. Well, now I want to unify those belts up there and look to become a 2-division undisputed world champion at light heavyweight against Dimitri Bivol and Artur Beterbiev. And it's not going to be an issue as far as networks, because Canelo Alvarez is a network free agent, and he deals with Matchroom CEO and promoter Eddie Hearn, who's his co-promoter. So he now has grown and built a relationship with DAZN. in which Eddie Hearn has most of his fighters or all his fighters fighting on DAZN. So now Canelo Alvarez has built up a relationship with them. So let's say Canelo Alvarez decides, I'm going back to DAZN because I'm a network free agent, and I'm going to fight Artur Beterbiev, Dimitri Bivol on DAZN. Well, where does that leave Jermall Charlo? Who's he going to fight? Is he then going to fight David Benavidez? Caleb Plant would have lost. Billy Joe Saunders, nobody knows, his career is in limbo. So what is he going to do then? He's going to stay at 160. So the big fights with David Benavidez that you said he brings nothing to the table. And so now you're going to look to fight David Benavidez for a vacant belt because Canelo Alvarez is not available. Where do you go from here? Jermall Charlo is essentially boxing himself in a corner in hopes of landing this Canelo Alvarez fight. And we've seen how this played out. Most recently, with undefeated 3-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently WBO welterweight world champion, who is widely considered by many to be the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the world, in Terrence Bud Crawford. For 5 straight years, he's been looking to secure a showdown with Manny Pacquiao, 8-division legendary iconic Filipino superstar boxer, for the better part of 5-6 years. And he couldn't secure it. And then the fight completely got away from him. And Errol Spence, his biggest rival, who happens to be a close friend of Jermall Charlo, undefeated, unified welterweight world champion, superstar boxer who's widely considered to be top 3 best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, Errol the True Spence Jr. Now he landed the Manny Pacquiao fight overnight that Terrence Crawford has been looking and chasing for the better part of 5 to 6 years. He stated after the Kell Brook fight, before the Kell Brook fight, his number one objective was securing the Manny Pacquiao fight. Well, it never happened. It eluded him his entire career. It's the last 5 years of his career has been on hold for Manny Pacquiao. He even told 2-time welterweight world champion superstar boxer Showtime Sean Porter that he had to wait. He would revisit it if the Pacquiao fight didn't come to fruition. Now the WBO, they mandated that he fight Sean Porter, and he still didn't get the Pacquiao fight. So waiting around for one fighter can prove to backfire on you. So let's see how this plays out and unfolds. But Jermall Charlo fighting B-level fighters is getting very old to the boxing fans. Let's see how this plays out and unfolds. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share the videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Oh, it is your boy Jada Kiss. Make sure you check out Blue Blood Sports TV. It's going down.